everyone, Coach Nikki, and I'm here in Lake Tahoe. And today we are going to talk about increasing our energy, decreasing the brain fog via taking really good care of our liver. So I'm going to go over 8 steps that work for me. I always want to preface with it's really important that anytime you add something new, even if it's as simple as like grapefruit, that you really want to check with your healthcare provider and make sure any medication that you're taking, there's no adverse effects. So please, anything that I say, just know I've tried it myself. We have worked with thousands of clients, but it's very important. Every one of us are very unique, and we need to make sure that things work for us and that they metabolize well in our body and with what we're currently taking. So, our first step in thinking about, okay, what does our liver do and why is this important, is our liver is the second biggest organ in our whole entire body, and it is our number one filtration system. And so our liver is responsible for so much. It's like the big workhorse of your body, and so many things that we take for granted, right? We're like, yeah, whatever, we have a liver. And until something happens tragic, we don't really even think about it. We just think, oh, it's, I'm functioning well. But all of a sudden, when things start going wrong, then maybe we start doing a little bit of research or hopefully we start doing a little bit of research and say, okay, what do these organs in my body do and how can I optimize them? So the first step in liver detox is really just kind of understanding like what your liver does. And I know that we know it's like you kind of often hear if you drink too much, you can get like fatty liver disease, but there's also the liver also is really impacted with processed foods and really high fat, like trans high fat, so really bad fats are hard on our liver. Our liver does, like I said, all the filtration in our body. It's the main catalyst for our filtration system, but it also regulates our hormones. And as women and human beings in general, we think we have control of our moods, right? Until all of a sudden you are a hormonal mess and you're like this, raging, "Rah!" And you're like, what's the matter with me? And we really are a product of how our hormones are behaving, how our organs are behaving, and how our body is feeling. And so when you think about your liver, and your liver regulates your sex hormones, your thyroid, your adrenals, your cortisol. So all of these, if our liver is off, can really send us to an emotionally dark place. Maybe we're feeling a lot of anxiety, just any kind of emotional imbalances. You might want to look at like, hey, doing a little bit of a liver cleanse might really help with that. So when we're thinking about, okay, what does our liver do and do I need a liver cleanse? The second step is, do you need a liver cleanse? So maybe I can ask you just a few questions. You can write down like yes or no. You can also, in the reactions, you can give me like a thumbs up if you feel that way, a thumbs down if you don't feel that way. So and some of the signs that our liver might be slowing or not be functioning to its best is maybe you're feeling bloated. Maybe you're feeling foggy, like you're kind of like in this cloud all the time, and you're like, my cognitive ability is like not so great. Maybe you have weight that you just can't lose. Like you're like, I eat healthy all the time. I don't know why I'm not losing weight. It can also be like what we talked about before is like mood swings, is if you're super cranky or you have anxiety or depression or you have these mood swings, that could be because we need a little liver cleanse. Bloating, puffiness, um, like if you're thinking about like your like body odor, if you're like all of a sudden you have, or your significant other's like, woo, your breath is stinky. And then you're like, okay. Or like all of a sudden you normally don't have strong body odor and all of a sudden you get strong body odor. All of these can be signs that your liver needs a little cleanse. Um, and probably in general, we all feel this way, here and there. But if all of a sudden things are changing, like you're getting acne, or your skin is unclear, or you're getting kind of like itchy rashes, these are signs that your liver could need a cleanse. So then, as we move into step 3, the biggest thing that we can do to help our liver is not just a 7-day cleanse or a 6-week cleanse, or is really thinking about how we can eliminate the things that slow our liver down and add in all of the things that can really help us. You can see, like, I have like I just kind of opened my refrigerator and I was like, okay, what helps our liver cleanse? And the first thing I always go for is the greens. So when you're thinking about, in our step 3 is now we're going to talk about what we want to add into our diet. And most of us kind of know this, but some of these things, and that's why I love these Friday talks, because some of the things I don't do all the time. But then when I talk about it with you and I research like all the magic that happens through our food, then I'm like, oh, I can create a habit of, which I've done, for many years. You probably have as well, because we've talked about this so many times, is having ginger, lemon, and maybe a little cayenne lemon water every single morning. But creating habits that you can incorporate foods that you will constantly be cleansing, and you'll always be helping your liver function and optimize at its best. So when we're thinking about food in general, and when you create your liver cleanse, which we'll do at the end of this, is how can we easily put in these magic foods, these medicinal foods that have been used for thousands of years, put them into our diet so we don't forget them, so we don't forget to incorporate all of this in our, like, by the time you wake up. So what I do the night before is I peel ginger. And if I don't have time, or if I run out of fresh ginger, I will just use like organic ginger powder, which has actually different components in it and is really good to switch from one to the other. So I don't love ginger powder in my water, so I just do it kind of every once in a while. Most of the time, I use natural ginger, but it is really good to kind of switch around in between like organic ginger powder and regular ginger. So I put my ginger in a little thermos. I put some cinnamon, I put some cayenne in there, and I just put it to the side. So that's the last thing I do before I go to bed, or as I'm cleaning the kitchen or whatever. Then the first thing I do in the morning is I grab my lemon, I open up my ginger, I put it into a nice little glass, because I used to put it in like these big jars and it kind of just got overwhelming to me to drink that much. So I just put it into a nice little like 8-ounce glass, put my lemon in it, and I sit and do just a little quiet, like 1-minute meditation. So, and we'll talk about like the importance of like self-care and meditation. But when you're thinking about the things that really help your liver, is starting your day with a cleanse. So lemon naturally helps detoxify your body, as well as ginger, and it helps that elimination process first thing in the morning, which is really important. It's like the bookends of our day. How do we start our day? How do we end our day? The next thing that I wanted to talk about is really thinking about all the things that have like a really high level of vitamin E in them. So vitamin E has a really good cleansing component. It also helps your digestive enzymes in your liver. So you can even do like a natural like Google search on what foods have high vitamin E. But some of my favorites are almonds, sunflower seeds, greens, all of the greens. If anybody has any that's like off the top of their head, you guys can just type them in. But avocado is really great. I think my son eats like one avocado a day. I usually eat like probably like a quarter of an avocado a day. Unless we have like tacos, then I'll eat probably a whole avocado. But all of these things, like the natural fats and the really good vitamin E, are really good for your liver. So, focusing on those vitamin E supplements or foods. Moving into supplements is where you do want to be really careful. You can get like milk thistle, you can get turmeric or turmeric, however you'd like to pronounce it. You can get supplements that help cleanse your liver, but that's where you do want to really make sure that what you're currently taking as far as medication, and there's no adverse effects to that. I do take a turmeric, I call it turmeric, but turmeric supplement. And if you want me to order you some, just direct message me. But I take, because I love turmeric and I put it in my soups. That's kind of it. I put it in my soups and my stir fries and things like that, but I know I'm not getting it every day. And I do require a lot of my body. I work out really hard. I work really hard. I play really hard. There's a lot of things that I'm like, come on, body, you got this. And turmeric is something that's been really helpful for me as far as decreasing inflammation and also being that helpful partner to my liver to help, because the liver, if you're feeling puffy and you're like, yeah, that's kind of one of the symptoms, and you're like, oh, maybe my liver's not functioning well, turmeric can really help with that anti-inflammatory reaction to your body, whether it's from working out hard or it's from eating foods that cause you to bloat, or whether it's from an injury. So taking turmeric every day, I think, is really great. This turmeric has 1,600 milligrams, and I take 2 a day. Or you can put, some people like the way it tastes. You can put half a teaspoon in water with a little black pepper, which is in the supplements as well. And you can drink it, or you can put it in your food. So that's the great thing about turmeric, about everything that I'm talking about, is you can eat it, you can easily put it in your food, or if you kind of don't like it, take it as a supplement. Just make sure it's organic and make sure that you know where it's coming from, because there's not a lot. And that's why I really spend a lot of time researching the best supplements, because there's not a lot of like FDA or supervision when it comes to making supplements. So really make sure that you do your homework and that it's clean, that there's not a lot of like heavy metals, because heavy metals, molds, all of those things are also really hard on your liver. So make sure that you're taking clean supplements that don't have heavy metal. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of jam through some of these. Eating grapefruit it's delicious if you squeeze it into your water, into your like lemon water, or have like a little bit of a grapefruit snack in the afternoon. For Kaya, our core session for this next 6 weeks, we challenged everybody the first week to add 4 grapefruits to your diet. Again, if you're on heart medication or birth control, maybe do another type of citrus food, but grapefruits are really, really good for you. So if you haven't had a grapefruit lately, go grab a grapefruit. Garlic. I think most of us know that garlic is such an amazing superfood. It helps our immune system. It also decreases inflammation, and it is that cleansing component that helps the liver enzymes really do what they need to do to cleanse. So you can take garlic and put it into anything. And the great thing about garlic is it's just as effective cooked or raw. And so for me, like, when I was like researching all of like what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, is it was like, oh, eat 2 cloves of garlic before you go to bed. I was like, bleh. Like I could never do that. I couldn't force myself to do that. That doesn't sound good. It would never be a habit of mine. But to put whatever 6 cloves, because I'm making it for my family, into my food, I love that. Or you can put it into your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, whatever it is. Add as much garlic as you can, and then a little tip is the allicin in the garlic is one of the components that really helps with cleansing and boosting your immune system. And the best way to get the allicin component in the garlic is to chop it up and let it sit for like 5 minutes. So if you are throwing garlic into your food, chop it up first, put it to the side, let it sit, then throw it into your soups, throw it into your stir fries, throw it into your whatever you're eating. Okay, so greens are incredibly important for everything, but what greens, bitters, I love dandelion tea. So if you're not drinking dandelion tea, you might want to go ahead and order some, because dandelion tea is not only like a bitter, it helps cleanse your liver, and you can also put dandelion in your salads and your smoothies, all of that kind of stuff too. But I love dandelion tea because it's really rooty. And if you're kind of trying to sway away from so much coffee, dandelion tea can be a really good, just satisfying cup of tea. And it also, I love tea. Don't you guys love tea? There's so many medicinal values in different types of tea. So, like I said, milk thistle, you could do it in. You can put it in a tea, or you can take it in a supplement, dandelion, and then rotate your greens. So these ones are rainbow chard. This is regular kale, spinach, all of the greens. Just try to rotate it every time you order or you go to the store, because every type of green has different values when it comes to like your vitamin B's, your vitamin E's, your like, I mean, there's so many, you couldn't even begin to like list all of the magic that comes from eating different kinds of greens. So that's definitely needs to be in your um, liver cleanse. And then red clover. So I didn't have any, and I'm going to order some, because red clover is a really powerful antioxidant. I'm not sure what I'm going to order. I kind of researched it, and I think I'll probably do a tea and a supplement. But red clover is also a really, really good detox for your liver. So when you're thinking about your food, we're going to go for lots of greens, lemon water, um, grapefruit, garlic. Oh, this is what I want to talk about too, is sometimes it's really hard to get all of the greens like chlorophyll and spirulina. So I always put a scoop of my, and Deb, maybe you can put the link, or just let people know that where they can order it. But just make sure that when you're doing a scoop of greens in like your smoothie or with your protein powder, just make sure that they're really clean, that they're organic, of course. And then you can get so many things: vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, calcium, iron, all of these that you probably are not going to eat in your regular day, right? We're not going to go like munch on spirulina, but it is important for our body, our thyroid, all of these kind of things, to get this like good variety of food, and especially like sea vegetables. Okay, so I'm like talking, but I'm only on step 4. So step 4 is my favorite thing. Can you guys guess? Type it in. What do you think my favorite way to detox your liver would be? Sweat. So get your sweat on. So the magic of working out, the magic of sweating. So many times, like women are like, I'm sweaty, I don't like it. But if we can reprogram our mind to say, every time you get really sweaty, you're detoxing, you're helping your liver, you're helping so many systems in your body. So it like maybe it might be hotter in your workout class and maybe in your kayak class than you'd like it to be. But instead of saying, hey, can we turn on the AC? Can we open the doors? Just say, I'm going to embrace being sweaty because that is a detox. Maybe on your walk, put like wrist weights on and put a little more umph in your step. I know my mom who's on here. Hi, mom. My mom has been her whole entire life an advocate for exercising, for getting sweaty. When I was little, it wasn't very popular to be out like running in the streets, and everybody be like, is that your mom running around the streets? And I was like, I know, she's so weird. And then now, like, we're all running after you, mom. So the more that you can turn up the heat in your workouts, commit to getting sweaty. At the end of my like live stream classes, I always go up to the screen. I'm like, okay, sweat test. How's everybody doing? If you're not sweaty, we're staying here. And so just give yourself that sweat test. Like, am I getting sweaty at least 3 times a week? And if not, how can you turn up the heat on that? Okay, so my step 5 is green tea. So I drink green tea morning, noon, and not night because of the caffeine in it. I start my day with green tea. Um, they also said that coffee, 1 cup of good black coffee, is good for your liver as well, which I was like, should I put that in my talk? But 1 cup, yes, I got a thumbs up from Deb. Yes. So coffee, but green tea is an incredible antioxidant. It gives you energy, but it also is helpful for this cleanse. So if you are sensitive to caffeine, you can get caffeine-free green tea, or you can just have it early enough, but try to have like, it's kind of a lot, like 3 cups or 4 cups of green tea. So it is kind of a lot. Next is kick the crap. So I know you know this, and you know that it was going to be part of this, is that the things that cause us liver issues, we're well aware. Alcohol, processed food, and sugar. So just instead of torturing yourself saying, I'm never going to have a cookie again, just before you have a cookie, eat an apple. And if you're still craving the cookie, eat the cookie. But you had an apple that is really full of all kinds of micronutrients, including fiber, that can help push the cookie through, and it's not going to affect your blood sugar so much. And that's where like alcohol, highly processed foods, and sugar, they affect your blood sugar levels, and that our insulin production and our pancreas and our liver, everybody's like, oh no, here comes the donut. And then it's like, and then we crash, and maybe it feels good like right when we're eating it. Not maybe, yes it does. Right when you're eating something yummy, your mouth goes, woo, yummy. But then all of a sudden 10 minutes later, bring awareness to how you feel. Like, do you feel like a little like lethargic? Do you feel a little nauseous? Do you feel, because that is your body saying, that was too much sugar for me. This is like too much for me to process. When you have that raging headache from alcohol, these are your body's signs, are like either whispering, because your body will whisper first and say, I don't like that. But if you don't listen and you don't bring awareness to it and you blame it on something else, then all of a sudden your body will scream. And that's where sometimes we get these like autoimmune diseases and fatty liver diseases and things like that. So just as much as you can, crowd out the crap. And when you're reading labels, try not to eat anything that's over 9 grams of added sugar. So fruit doesn't count. Eat as much grapefruit and apples and whatever you want. I don't suggest putting a bunch of fruit in your smoothies, or juicing it, because again, that you're eating probably way more than you would naturally eat. So keep your juices and keep your smoothies like light and green, and then eat your fruit, but try to reduce the amount of sugar, alcohol, and processed food that you have. And then we're just going to put it all together in a plan. So I'm going to leave you with thinking about how can we create a plan for you. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, let's start by saying, okay, it is very important for my liver for me to take care of myself. So write how many hours of sleep you'll get at night, and then what you'll do first thing in the morning. Maybe it's just a little bit of meditation, warm ginger and lemon water, if that sounds good. Maybe for breakfast, you have a scoop of your greens with a little kale smoothie and a grapefruit. And then for lunch, we're going to have like a big, beautiful salad and put lentils and quinoa and all the cruciferous vegetables, which are also the powerhouses to cleanse your liver. So you want to do like broccoli, cauliflower, um, Brussels sprouts, artichokes are really, really good for your liver as well. So build a beautiful salad and take a turmeric supplement, or maybe do like a turmeric latte, like a golden milk latte. You can just Google that in the afternoon. And then for dinner, think about how much garlic and onions you can put into your tacos, your stir fry, your whatever you're already making. Just turn up the like medicinal value of your food, that will help you cleanse your liver. And then at night, just think about like how you can take care of yourself, because decreasing your stress level, increasing your happy hormones, all of that has to do with how well we're taking care of ourselves. Are you getting outside? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you doing things that are fun in the day? Things are stressful. That's just going to happen. We're not going to push stress out of our lives. We actually want like a good, healthy stress, but we need to know how to get rid of it. We need to know how to de-stress. And like yesterday, I had a huge owners meeting, and I could feel it was like 11 to 1 and I forgot to eat. And I could feel through the owners meeting, like my body was shaking, and I was like, oh, like my adrenals were off. And so I consciously said like, hey, you didn't do a great job taking care of yourself in the morning. So the afternoon, you're going to kick some butt on self-care. And so I made myself, even though I didn't want to, I made myself go for a run after the call. I made a huge thing of coconut turmeric soup and put all the veggies that were going bad in my refrigerator in. That was cooking while I went for a quick run, came in, and then in the afternoon, I actually took a bath. And I was so proud of myself, because normally if I get myself that riled up, I won't sleep well at night. But I took the steps to say like, hey, Nick, like that wasn't all the way awesome of like how you were taking care of yourself. Let's make up for it, because we're not always going to be all the way awesome, right? Okay, but you are all the way awesome. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, our liver cleanse starts with just, what is your liver? What is it doing for you? Do you have symptoms that might be pointing you in the direction of needing a liver cleanse? If you do, then what are all of the beautiful natural foods and some supplements that you can add into your diet to really help your liver cleanse? Get your sweat on, ditch the junk as much as possible, be a good label reader, and bring awareness to how things are affecting your body, and then create a quick little plan and make it super simple. Easy peasy. Okay, I love you guys. I hope I see you at the 9 a.m. workout. And I hope this was helpful. I know it's always helpful for me. Good to see you guys.